Earlier this year, I made a video about a very interesting camera drone accessory called the drone mask. And what that is pretty much a phone holder that sits on your face, so you can feel a very similar sensation to what FPV feels like, because you are seeing everything that's going on exactly in front of your eyes. There's no sun glare, there are no distractions, everything is just in front of your eyes. And it could be a little bit overwhelming, but it's a lot of fun to try, especially if you have never flown FPV before and you want to try out and see what the sensation feels like with the security and, with the peace of mind knowing that you have a camera drone that is not going to fall when you let go of the sticks. You can use the drone mask. Well, now they have a better second iteration of that product, which is called the Drone Mask 2, and I have it right here. The same premise is kept here for this product, of course. It's just a little upgrade to what the Drone Mask 1 was. So now we have this mask right here, which is the Drone Mask 2, and it has the same zip pocket here on the front, which holds your phone. You have some lenses here which you can adjust. You can use this with glasses. If you're wearing glasses, you can freely put this on your head and you can still have access to the screens. You won't have any problems with that. There's a little knob here that you can twist to adjust the focus, and you can adjust how much further you want the screen to be from your eyes, and then you have the strap. Now, one of my biggest problems with the original drone mask was the fact that they didn't include any cables, so that resulted in a very funny situation where I forgot to bring my cable, my longer cable, so I had to use a really short cable between the phone and the remote, and it was really uncomfortable to use it that way. Well, now the problem is solved because every Drone Mask 2 comes with all sorts of different cables and accessories for every single type of phone. So regardless whether you're using an iPhone, an Android, or any other device that has different type of ports, you will be covered because you have everything you need inside the package. My other big complaint with the original drone mask was the fact that when you had some type of pop-up on the screen of your phone, or you wanted to quickly change modes from video to photo, or anything else that you want to do, you had to completely remove the phone from this compartment here to interact with your phone and then put it back together. It was a pain in the ass to deal with it, so it wasn't really a good look for the original drone mask. Well, now here they have listened to lots of users' feedback and they have created these, I would say, curtains that are on the side here. So they are basically some holes with a little bit of fabric here behind them, and you have the same one here on the other side, and that goes the same way here on the bottom of the mask. So it's a pretty long area that is covered by this fabric. So when you press on the fabric, it's actually a big hole, and you can interact with your phone. You can press some buttons without ever needing to remove the mask from your head, which is a big deal if you want to use that and not having to worry about your phone every 10 seconds or so. So when you have a no-fly zone, or you want to quickly change to another mode, or you want to change your settings for some reason, you will be able to do it straight from the mask itself without having to take it off from your head. So this is the Drone Mask 2. Let's see it in action, and then I'll meet you back here in the studio with some final thoughts. So it just got in the air, and of course the first thing I need to address is the fact that the phone screen is just huge inside those goggles, or should I say this phone holder. Now the image is a little bit laggy. I'm not sure why that is, but I just had to quickly change from flat to regular color because it will be much easier for me to see what's going on. And yeah, the latency is, I would say, the biggest problem. So I'm not sure if I would be able to hit some gaps as I normally would with a regular drone, because it's just stuttering so much here. As you can see, those trees really make it hard. So let's just cruise for a while at first, and focus on the experience, and then we'll see
if we actually have the chance to do and hit some gaps. So I noticed that they have introduced some, I would say, small little curtains on the side of the mask and also on the bottom. So whatever happens on the phone, you can easily address it by using those little curtains and just pressing if there is a pop-up, if you want to start or stop recording, if you want to change your mode from video to photo, all sorts of things. So whatever you want to do, you can change it without ever removing the mask from your face, which is a great addition. And one of my biggest issues with this mask was the fact that it didn't come with cables in the package. So it was pretty easy to forget to bring a cable. Well, I'm getting awfully close to the tree here. But now they have fixed this, and they have added all sorts of different cables inside the package. So you will be good to go. You will be able to use the mask and not worry about cables as long as you bring the whole setup with you. I would say the biggest problem now for me is the latency. It's not the big screen of the phone. It's not the remote controller or something like that. It's just the latency. So if I had a little bit more security, knowing that what I'm seeing is actually the thing that's happening right now, it would have been much easier for me to hit a smaller gap, or do something a little bit different with the drone. But even now, just cruising, I might look stupid, I know. I mean, it's a big mask, but even just cruising, it's a lot more enjoyable to do it with the mask because you see everything. Now the edges of the screen are just a little bit blurry because I'm focused on the center of the image, but that's just how I do things. For some people, I'm sure it will be fine. For others, it might be a little bit too much and too much to handle at one time, because it is quite a lot of information. As you notice, the app has quite a few texts and different buttons that you can press. So if you don't focus on them, it's easier. But the minute you start looking at some numbers and some buttons, it gets a little bit too much to handle. But still, I'm pretty close to the ground, and it's just enjoyable to fly. I don't think I will be able to hit a very small gap because I just don't trust the latency that much. But being able to go through those trees and just seeing everything, like every little branch, is the real difference. Because sometimes, in a nice and sunny weather, you don't see those little things, or not until the last possible second at least. Now, I'm sure some shots could be epic with this mask because of that all that focus that you have while you are wearing it. So I kind of like the idea to have it with me when I'm going to shoot. Well, that was a big delay here, and some, I would say, a little disconnect. Well, again, remote controller signal might be blocked. Position remote controller to the, yeah. I am right here. I'm not that far, as you can see. I'm 300 meters away, but the bars from the RC were yellow, and now they are back to white. Now they're back to yellow. So the signal, as you can see, is not great, but of course that's expected. Sometimes when you fly lower to the ground and you have all of these obstacles, that's the biggest issue with FPV. The obstacles that the signal needs to go through are the biggest challenge. So you need to be aware that unlike regular flying where you go to like 100 meters of height and you have a lot of signal. Let's do that real quick. Let's even pop it into sport mode. Unlike this, that's really easy, where when you're closer to the ground, you're dealing with a lot more, challenging situations where you just the signal needs to penetrate all these different obstacles, and that's not going to happen if you fly very close to the ground. What about this area though? It's absolutely beautiful. Let's check this out. I like this shot. Keep in mind we are in sport mode, so things are not that precise here, but we're going for a higher speed, not that much of a smoothness of the shot. And still, I think if I cut this properly, I will have a great shot. This area is just gorgeous. Very open, very wide, lots of fields, and that little forest here, which is where we came to try out the mask. There were some cows here just a couple of minutes ago. Unfortunately, we missed them, but yeah, check this out. It's a nice way to enjoy the scenery. It's different. That's what I can say. It's different. And I kind of enjoy it more from a higher perspective, because I don't need to worry. Let's pop it back into normal. Because I don't need to worry about, latency. I don't need to worry about hitting an obstacle, and I want to enjoy the scenery. That's the main reason why I use these camera drones after all. If I want to fly super low and close to the ground, I can just use an FPV drone. But for some people, which, if you don't have an FPV drone, I still think, like I said in the first video that I made for Drone Mask, where I tested it for the very first time, I still think having this accessory will help you kind of get your feet wet and figure out if you like FPV, because that's a similar sensation. Of course, it's not the same, but it's similar. And let's just do that because I like the separation here. Let's do a little bit of a straight down shot. There it is. Let's not go too high. We can actually do this. Yep. We got some good shots from here, I'm sure.
So what do I think about the Drone Mask 2? I can say that I feel like this accessory is going to be very useful for people who are on the fence whether they should try out FPV. If you want to have a taste of what FPV feels like, but you don't want to risk it and you don't want to spend a lot of money to invest into an FPV setup, this is probably going to be your safest and most convenient way to check it out. Of course, it's not the same as flying real FPV, as it really depends what type of drone you're using. It depends on the latency, it depends on the flight mode, it depends on the signal, it depends on many other factors. However, like I said, this is the most safe and most convenient way to give it a go if you are on the fence. If you don't want to invest, sometimes people just want to see what this FPV stuff is all about. And if you only have a Mini 3 Pro or Mini 1, Mini 2 or any other drone, that's the beauty of things, is that you don't really have to have a special drone to use this. It can be flown with any product, any drone. As long as you can put your phone inside this case, you will be good to go. Drone Max 2 is currently in a pre-order state, so I'm not really sure on the exact price as of right now, but I believe it's $179. Last time I checked, that was the price. And I still feel like it's a little bit steep for what you're getting, because it could do with just a little bit more of a discount to make it a perfect gift for someone, or you know, to give it yourself as a gift as well. But I feel like it's a good product that could work really well for beginners or for people who are just looking to be more immersed in their flight, because like I said, sometimes the outside conditions and the environment around us is going to change the way we are seeing things on the screen of our phones when we're flying these camera drones. So putting this on your head makes you really get into the zone, immerse yourself into the situation, and really be out there looking for the best possible shot. So that's pretty much it from today's video. I really hope you enjoy it. This is Mike from Drone Supremacy. Take care, everyone. Thank you so much for the support, and I'll see you very soon in the next one. Ciao.